Howdy, howdy. This is Blue Otter. Today we are playing Times and Galaxy. Ooh, we've got Baller. Careful, intern. Don't rock my tank. I've sprained my entire body. The slightest motion causes unbearable agony. It's simply unbearable. You pulled your entire body. Give Bowler Tank a shake, just a little one. Oh, that sounds awful. Yeah, that sounds awful. Oh, it is. It's taking such heroic efforts to keep up conversation right now. I was practicing my old shapes routine. Nothing I haven't done countless times before. But this time, I tripped and bashed myself against the side of my tank while holding a strenuous shape. A triple helix, if you must know. That sounds really impressive. How did you trip? Rock Bowler's tank just... I'm not going to do that. That's just being mean. Yeah, that sounds really impressive. It was, intern. It was. Perhaps I can show you once I recover. Until then, please hold all my calls. And pass along well wishes the rest of the ship are assuredly hard at work on. Sure. Think whatever you want, bud. Oh, there's Puff Piece and Quasar. Good dog. Good. Sprockets. I was just, scolding Puff Piece for, making a mess again. Alright, so I've got a soft spot for this little goob ball. Don't tell anyone, okay? Puff Piece gurgles happily. And no one in there. Besides the water cooler. What is this? Dream date? Looks like someone got the star in Cosmo's celestial dream date. The literal star. The star is intensely hot. Lucky. Okay, let's check this way. Oh, we've got Janitor Bot. Signatures in permanent ink on the wall permanently. Priority query, who would do this? Are they taunting Janitor Bot? Those are signatures from the interns. Isn't this it isn't mess, it's tradition. Janitor Bot does not understand. It is my all accessible definitions mess. Traditional or not. Tradition is just an excuse to justify yourself instead of cleaning it up. Janitor Bot is not mad. Janitor Bot is disappointed. Don't clean this up. Sorry, I'll wipe these away. Report this and you'll be sorry. No, please don't clean it up. Error. You find this mess appealing? You contradict Janitor Bot's very mandate. You seek to torment Janitor Bot. Janitor Bot will take this up with Ursula. Please do not attempt to hide or erase these crimes against cleanliness. They are now considered evidence. Well, if I can't clean it, that means you can't clean it either. Who keeps leaving the fridge open? Copybot, I am curious, Blue Otter. Do you write for fun? I stick to news. I try, but it's difficult. I love to write for fun. Yeah. It is wonderful to learn that we have this in common. I write poetry. Quite a lot of poetry, actually. Free form mostly. I find it so liberating, casting off the confines of grammar. And sometimes, even spelling. I am almost feeling naughty admitting as much. It was Becca who started me down my poetic path. She has been nothing but encouraging. I suppose we have a little scanner poetry club with just us two as members. Yeah, I would join that club. And we would very much like to have you as a member. Your internship is almost over, is it not? Perhaps if you are able to extend your job, we will make it official. All right, gonna get my assignment here. There you are. I've secured an exclusive interview with Zeal Prime, the usually unquestioned ruler of the entire solar system. After discussing it with Ursula, we'd like you to do it. Journalism is about standing up to authority and holding truth to power. There is no greater power or authority than Zeal Prime's. Can't say I'm surprised you picked me. Why me? Is this because of my performance? That feels kind of conceited. Why me is, I think, might be taken wrong. Is this because of my performance? Could be taken as, you know, am I being stuck with this like the cat one? I'm gonna go with the charisma. Can't say I'm surprised you'd pick me. Bring that confidence with you to the interview. Your internship is nearly over. It's time for a proper test of your skills. Zeal Prime is a notoriously tricky interview. You may not get much time or many questions. There are 3 topics you could focus on. 1 would be a profile of Zeal Prime. They remain a bit of an enigmatic figure. Sherwin suggested instead to focus on the economy. He says Prime has been cagey when trying to explain why bucks have been stagnant for so long. There are also rumors that Zeal Prime is having an affair. I would personally hate to see you focus on that. But Ursula was adamant in the early meeting that readers will eat it up. You may want to focus on one topic or ask a variety of questions. How you choose to cover the story is up to you. Regardless, you're ready, Blue Otter. This is what you were made for. Well, that's no pressure. Absolutely no pressure. Let's go here. Blue Otter. I'm adding articles to my portfolio. Which do you think is a better addition? My story on veterans reminiscing about the 5 Minutes War, or the one about the fart rain on Og? Honestly, I have not read your stories, but I'm gonna say the veterans one. I was leaning fart rain, but you're right. The veteran story is sentimental, but in an important way. I like to keep my portfolio current with my best stuff, which is almost always my most recent. I download it all and keep the files close. These archives are thorough, but it's good to keep your own records, just in case. In case of what, I should start my own portfolio. Your best stuff is always the newest. In case of what? In case they turf you, fire you, just cut you off due to a disagreement over what's acceptable to print. Sure, maybe things seem great right now, but you should never trust your bosses to take care of you. They can cut you off on a whim, decide to go in a different direction. I'm sensing an issue here. Fire you outright. If you learn one thing in your internship here, let it be that your independence is key. Your worth is your own. Yeah, that's solid advice. Okay, now we've got to go down and we can run across and see if we see any red exclamation marks. Vivica, size. Oh, hi, Blue Otter. I was just catching up on the Muncho draft. It was historical. So many new players. So much promise. In the field of ingesting poison. Do you miss it? Do you ever wish that you worked that beat. Why historical? The sport has become more sophisticated since my day. The player who was selected first overall, an odd kid named Zinto Brozat, he already had a huge following from his video series, Can I Eat It? Yes, I Can. It'll be interesting to see how this well-established entertainer fares in the tournaments when the pressure and the noxious chemicals are cranked up. Have you ever considered covering the Muncho beat? Do you miss? Yeah, have you ever considered covering it? I suppose it's crossed my mind before, but I could never leave the courts. Watching as the jury slowly fills the tubes, each additional slurp lurching towards determining the fate of the accused. It's my home. Besides, Billy Ballad does a good job. That kid is a go-getter. Do you think I'm as talented as Billy? Billy Ballad is overrated. Sounds like you where you're meant to be. Yeah, sounds like you're where you're meant to be. I think I am, Blue Otter. I think I am. And I can guess I can always follow Muncho. As a devoted, poison-loving fan, maybe we could catch a tournament together sometime. I have to warn you, I get feral in the stadium. Count me in. No thanks. I honestly think I get sick. Yeah, count me in. How can you get sick? You don't even have a stomach. I let you know when the league starts back up. Looking forward to it, Blue Otter. Vivica blows you a kiss, then burps. Better start practicing your burps for the regurgitation Muncho cheer. Again, no esophagus. Do we have anything for you? Sherwin seems intently focused on his screen. One quick peep over his shoulder and you can see his messaging with Bowler on company time. Nice. Anything for Billy? Nope. Nope. All right, let's go check the gardens, the cafeteria, and then we can head out to reception. Oh, there's Ursula. Ursop, sorry. Ah, Blue Otter. I find sometimes I come to this garden, in truth, hoping to see a plant from home, like the wallowing weeper who seems to understand my pain. Why a plant from home? You see, my life on Ugg was complicated. I was always drawn to the finer things, but born to a planet of violence and junk. To fit in, I embraced a life of violence. I found myself entangled with an ominous Shivers gang. So this is why you're always trailing off mysteriously? Yeah, no, just go on. Art was my only way out. I wrote a musical called Greasy about something I thought every augur could get behind. A diesel fuel service station. But when the Shivers, my own brothers, found out, they broke up our opening night, and I ran. Got in a beat-up pickup interplanetary vessel, and found my way here. That's messed up. You're very brave. Are you ever scared the Shivers will come after you? I don't fear the Shivers anymore. Their attentions are so fickle. I'm sure they moved on as soon as the next rusty thing caught their eye. But I can never go back. Why not? You made a life for yourself here. Please keep what I've said today about the... He shivers. Please keep it confidential. Not for me, oh no. But for everyone else's sake. It can be terribly detrimental for morale to have one's heroes fall from grace. And I do consider myself to be somewhat of a lauded figure around these parts. Okay, that didn't quite make sense. What is this? Can't spell quartz without art, and bloom without loom really makes you think. Oh, that's the ship picture thing. Let's see, what is today? We have scallop biohash, tanker tots with optional grease gravy. Zeal dish, we have bright sickles stored in a light safe box, and verge dish ground beef. That, oh, here we go. Terrible, just terrible. The service on this ship used to be so much better. How is it better? Foodbot is highly skilled in food production. Service is important and yeah, how is it better? We used to have good service on the ship. Okay, you still have not explained. You didn't have to come down to the cafeteria for starters. Food was delivered to you, your desk, your bunk, wherever, whenever. Foodbot would bring you your meal. She seemed happy to do so, I should add. But then Ursula said Foodbot was never supposed to do that. And that she didn't want to, especially not very late at night, when she should be recharging. News to me. But what's the point of having a Foodbot then? Eating in a cafeteria is so degrading. Yeah, I know, you gotta eat among the peasants. Maybe it's time to go write another restaurant review. Well, that will cheer you up. With a name like Foodbot, it's a good thing I like making food. Haha. Ha ha ha. Okay, well, it's not that funny. I'm stuck. My game is stuck. Okay. I might have to restart. Yeah, we're going to... Yeah, my game froze. Okay. Maybe. Okay, there we go. We're unfrozen. This cycle I made tanker tots. Actually, tater tots sound good. I've got tater tots in the freezer. Oh, we've got y'all two. Hey. How's it going? Gord, look at this garden. It reminds me of when you tried to renovate the backyard. And that reminds me, I'm waiting for Steve to return my matter mower. Been waiting a long time, Gord. Have you called him? Why does a ship need a garden anyways? It's a nice place for reflection. It is a useful reminder of unfinished home renovations. Don't change the subject. Have you called Steve? It's a nice place for reflection. Wouldn't that be lovely, Gord? A place to reflect, to grow some vegetables. To putter. You've always been saying how much you love to putter, dear. I'll do it when we get home, I promise. Just teasing you, Gord. But please, do call Steve already. Being here reminds me of how much I want a little garden of my own. Alright, which one was this way? Oh, this is the ship bridge. Okay. Enough, Joe. I gave you the path. Fly it already. No, it'd be faster if we arc around that moon. You're the pilot, not the navigator. You're forgetting half the math. Yes, I'm the pilot, the one in the hot seat. My job is to get us there as fast as possible. No, your job is to get you there in one piece. And my job is to get us there safely. Let me do my job. Becca, let me do mine. Yeah, fight. What's the issue here? Yeah, please don't fight. Fight. Or what's the issue here? There's no issue. The optimal path is clear. If we use the moon's gravity, we can slingshot towards our destination, saving time, fuel, and money. That path sends us through an asteroid field. One we've gone through before. We crashed, Joe. We crashed safely. Nobody got anything worse than a bruise. And we were on our way again faster than you can say, did we just crash? Joe. Ah, fine. When the dealer scoops us and Ursula calls coming, you're explaining why we didn't arc the moon. Happy to do so. In an uncrashed ship. I still think you should arc the moon. Sounds cool. You made the right choice. Are you two okay? Yeah, you made the right choice. Sure have. See, Joe? The robo understands. Are you two a team now? Conspiring against speed itself? Damn shame that. You'll get over it. By the time we get there safely. Then let's go already. Engaging thrusters. Alright, let's see. We get... Shields rating balanced, healed, thriving, finally opening up after so long. Okay. Now we need to go back. Was this new? I think this was new. The portobello seems to be going through its pubescence. It's stinky, oily, and kind of moody too. All right, reception bot. Zeal Prime, I heard about your assignment. Are you nervous? Not now, I'm gonna crush it. Kid, I seriously think they overclocked your confidence chip. But I suppose being positive is important. So yes. You go out there and interview that most wonderful goo. Because I want to read all about it. No idea what we're gonna do. This guy's gonna be jealous. Yar seems unusually dejected this cycle. Oh, it's you, Blue Otter. What's guarding your circuits? You seem grumpier than usual. It's nothing for the likes of you to be concerned about. Yar's goo sloshes uncomfortably. They seem to be thinking. Well, if you must know, I really don't. I really don't. My internship is ending. And I got offered the job. Wow, congrats. Isn't that what you wanted? Curses. Yeah, isn't that what you wanted? It is, of course. But the dealer also offered me a job. It's a better title. And the benefits package is more competitive, to be honest. But I'd be leaving the Times. This is what I wanted. Now suddenly, I'm not sure. What am I doing talking to you about it? Like you know anything. Sounds like a tough choice. You should take the dealer. You should stay here. Yeah, it sounds like a tough choice. It is. Not something you know anything about. Your size, they suddenly seem a bit defeated. But if it was your choice, what would you do? I would say I would go, I don't know. Okay. You're useless. Yeah, says the person that doesn't know what they want to do. In all fairness, that's just cheating, because you're just asking me to make a decision for you, and then if he didn't like that decision, then he would spend his entire life blaming me for making a bad decision, and it's his responsibility. All right, Medbot, what you got? You better have some kind of official business here, intern. You had an exclamation mark over your head. I'm busy right now. The surgery hole is in use. Who's in there? Cool. What are you doing in there? Can I go in next? Yeah. What are you doing in there? What do you think? I am treating an illness. Now go away and stop making a racket. Someone's sick? Oh no. So just calm your coolants. They'll be fine. Only thing is, I did forget their name. It was something Zeal. Sounded like Doran. Really should learn Patient's name. Oh no, is Orin okay? They're fine. Or they will be. They have the gloops. The gloops that are real. Oh no, luckily the gloops are not dangerous. The gloops? No, the gloops, it's much worse than... Oh no, the gloops, not much. It's much worse than the goops. A Zeal's goo gets all runny, it can be fatal. But it almost never is, it's just very annoying. They slosh around in their tank, and sometimes a bit of them leaks out of the vents. That's why I have Orin tucked safely in my sterile surgical field. So there won't be any spills. Now I'm sick of talking to you, so go away. But I like hanging out with you. The feeling is not mutual. Go away so I can focus on healing. Shoo. No, that's fair. Sometimes I look out at all that space and reflect. And sometimes I see... Oh, here we go. We got broken pilot bond. I'm actually aware of everything that happens on the ship at all times, including in the lavatories. It's pretty awful, actually. Okay, that's kind of creepy. Actually, that's not kind of creepy. That just is creepy. Hey, Pipsqueak. Just waiting for the gang. A few of us meet here for a bi-monthly holo card tournament. Who are the other players? What game do you play? Can I join? Yeah, can I join? I'm afraid we have a strict no newbie policy. Well, how? No, that's not how. You see, we'd be here for cycles. Just teaching you. Hard to say, we play a game of arcane rules. Literally called arcane rules. What are some of the rules? You're right, doesn't sound like my kind of thing. Yeah, how do you win? Yeah, what are some of the rules? The rules are an interlocking series of puzzles themselves. Dependent first on the solar weather during the cycle of play. Once the players have solved for weather, an equation involving the 5 solar poles, the rules of play begin to be unlocked. Do you want to hear more? Can you give me the abridged version? If I were to, say, play a down-facing card in an up-facing way, that completely shuts down any attempt players were making towards toward an alliance. The technical term for that is a Yazgi. Well, I hope you get a Yazgi. I don't think you mean to offend Blue Otter. But a Yazgi in the current climate, with all I have built and all I have to lose, would be devastating. I couldn't show my face in the arcane rules community again. No, I wouldn't wish a Yazgi on my worst enemy. Okay. Oh, I hope you don't get one then. Blue Otter, you're killing me here. Not getting a Yazgi would be equally devastating. What I need is something between a Yazgi and no Yazgi at all. Okay. Well then, with all due respect, Scram, you won't want to be an interloping intern. Once the 24D die and the holo cards and the rooks on giant bird pieces come flying out, it'll already be a full house, haha. Just a bit of arcane rules humor for you. Have a good cycle, Blue Otter. See you around. That was different. Okay, we've got Shuttlebot. The Humanian expression, fake it till you make it, isn't really applicable here because this is a station where you just make it. Oh, I've got... Hey, Blue Otter. Did you come to join the game? It's too complicated. Do you really understand the rules? Of course. What kind of question is that? Haha. Well, okay. There are a few I don't know. But that's part of the appeal, really. It's super fun once you get the hang of it. Of course, once anyone gets the hang of it, we have to introduce more rules. Sounds like Double Cranko. But that's part of the fun. That is a MASH reference for anybody who was curious. All right, let's go. Yep. Let's go. Wow, interview with Zeal Prime, the unquestioned authority of all Dorp. They must really think you know what you're doing. Either that or I'm gonna screw it up so bad. Zeal Prime interview. Handler Prime, we have been waiting for you to arrive. Rude of you to leave the great Zeal Prime waiting. I traveled as quickly as possible. I sincerely apologize. It's not like you're busy. I traveled as quickly as possible. I'm sure that you did your best. It doesn't change the fact that you made the great Zeal Prime wait. You may proceed into the Prime Chamber when ready. But remember that you only get 3 questions. No more, no less. Actually, you can ask less. What if I ask more than 3? I'll be respectful. What if I ask more than 3? You don't ask more. 3 questions. The Great Zeal Prime's chambers is right through that door. Please stay inside the stanchions, touch nothing. And remember, 3 questions. Well, aren't you just a little ray of sunshine? Okay, what do we got here? Person stuffed in a mattress? Oh, hi there. I'm Hattie Gibbous. It's a bad name, but it's the only one I got. Are you here to see Zeal Prime too? I'm interviewing them for the Times and Galaxy. I am, and I'm next. I'm actually here to see this incredible rating. Yeah, I'm interviewing them for the Times and Galaxy. The Times and Galaxy? Never heard of it. But if you're doing an interview, you better be nice. Zeal Prime only deserves nice questions. And if you ask nice questions, you'll get nice answers. I tend to ask tough questions. Why do you care so much? I suppose we shall see how it goes. Yeah, why do you care so much? Zealy is the reason humans can travel in space. They're the reason you even exist. Meeting them is the chance of a lifetime. And I'll wait a lifetime. How long have you been waiting? Are you from Humania? How long have you been waiting? I haven't been waiting that long, really. Maybe 7 cycles? Compared to the trip to Central Station, that's space peanuts. 7 cycles seem like a long time for me. Are you from Humania? How did you get... Are you from Humania? You saw right through my Zeal Prime costume? I am indeed a human being, born and raised on Humania. I swear I've called that planet like every different way each time I get that. To get here, I stowed away on a buddy barge from Og, and before that, a raw material freighter from Humania to Og. Freighters move slow, barges even slower, I think. It took 174 cycles total to get here. That's dedication. That's also counting the layover in Og. Hattie shudders. What happened on Og? How long have you been a fan of Zeal Prime? Why are you here? Oh yeah, what happened on Og? Og was fine enough, I guess. Kind of dusty, yeah? But it was the attitudes that got to me. Nobody there seems to respect Zealy like they should. I mean, they are Zeal Prime and a higher power who floats among us simple organisms. Well, I guess you're not an organism, but the rest of us. Everywhere I go, I try to spread the appeal of the Zeal. Not everyone likes to hear about it. Not everyone likes to be told they're simple organisms. The Zeal are no different from anyone else. Why do you think not everyone wants to hear about it? Hattie pauses for a moment to think about your question. I guess it's self-importance, pride, yeah? They say that Zeal Prime knows everything there is to know. What happened, what's happening, and what's about to happen. I want to know what's going to happen to me. You believe Zeal Prime knows what's going to happen to you? Why would you want to know what will happen to you? I can tell you what, yeah. You believe Zeal Prime knows what will happen to you. I have to believe that. If I don't believe, what else is there except the vast emptiness of outer space? Okay, bye. Hold on, we've got this. It would kill them to put a few out a few magazines or snacks. We've got this. A poster depicting Zeal Prime, a proud, massive Zeal, somehow surviving, even thriving outside of a goop tank. The accommodating slogan claims that there's a little bit of everyone inside Zeal Prime. Nice reference to 42. Visitors normally take a number to determine where they see Zeal Prime, but you can go right in. The handler said so. I'm checking to see if there's any seeds that I'm missing. Okay, I guess we get to go. Okay, we've got the little talk mark, so who dares disturb the great and omnipotent Zeal Prime? Nah, just kidding, haha. Isn't he a jokester? You're Blue Otter, the system's first ever Roboreporter. How do I know that? I'm Zeal Flippin' Prime, baby. I know pretty much everything there is to know around here. That includes not just the meaning of life, but the meaning of every life. Also, some black hole in the wall joints with truly delicious grub. Speaking of which, you must be hungry for knowledge. You can ask me anything. I'm all about transparency because I'm all translucent goop. Oh, but only 3 questions, okay? I got a lot of Zeal Prime stuff going on. Don't worry, choosing topics will not count as a question. Still, you must use your time wisely. Rumors of Zeal Prime romance, value of solar currency frozen. I kind of feel like I want to go with like who you are. I did a I had a research paper on P.T. Barnum, and that was really pretty interesting to find out, because my paper was on the philosophy, the politics, philosophy, and philanthropy of P.T. Barnum. So basically everyone that P.T. Barnum was, except for the showman. Completely, who was he not as a showman, but who else was he? So I think we're going to go with trying to find, as much as I would love to know the currency stuff. And I think the romance is going to be, more of the speculation. And I appreciate that this game is not making me have crunch time. I think the romance angle is going to be more of the sensationalized piece, and it's really not where I've been going. I've been trying to do more of like informative but not boring. And while the economy would be really good, it also seems like this is really a mysterious person. So I think I'm going to go with, yeah, you're not what I expected. I bet you were expecting someone taller, right? It's totally the shoes. Anyway, now you've got 2 questions. That really wasn't a question, though. I'm basically a genie, but with questions. But that wasn't a question. I didn't know we started. Wait, I wasn't recording. Yeah, but that wasn't a question. What a weird loophole. And a nice try. I'm not going to allow it, though. 3 questions and or comments. We started for reals now. What would you like to ask about now? Value from currency, an in-depth profile of Zeal Prime, or rumors. We're going to go for an in-depth profile of Zeal Prime. I love to talk about myself. It's my favorite topic. What do you want to know? Tell me, who is the real Zeal Prime? What are you vibing with lately? What is next for Dorp system? Yeah, who is the real Zeal Prime? Your first question. I wish I knew the real me, to be honest. I don't know where I came from or why I'm even here. I just know that no goop has come before me, or at least here in Dorp. This station arrived one day with me in it. I awoke, started separating small morsels of myself to make new Zeal. Then they explored the solar system in cool robo bodies that were already built. What you're based on, actually. It's all going pretty well out there, I think. All I really get to do is vibe. Honestly, it gets pretty lonely being Zeal Prime. What are you vibing with lately? Okay, yeah. What are you vibing with lately? Your second question. Lately, I've been prepping my end of rotation poem. I do one of the regular keeps the system motivated and inspired. Want to hear some of it? Yes, let's preview your poem. This better not count as one of my questions. Zeal Prime clears his throat, or whatever Zeals have in there that allow them to speak. My Dorp system friends and supplicants. I'm here with another Zeal Prime cut. If you haven't died yet, keep that up. And if you had, that's too bad. I'm sorry for the loss of yourself. Hopefully, ghost life is pretty good, though. And that's what I've got so far. What did you think? Wait, don't answer that. I don't take criticism well. I think it needs an edit. It was inspiring. Yeah, I think it was inspiring. That's great to hear. Except it's actually not. That was a test. Clearly, you need a hold power accountable patch. It's not very profesh to kiss the butt of someone like me. Not that I have a butt. Thanks, though. Appreciate the kind words. No, I honestly kind of liked it. What's next for the Dorp system? Your third and final question. Dorp is doing just fine without my intentions. It is a full and unique and wonderful lizard people. Goops aplenty, as well as humans, robos, and whatever those verge things are. I'm here if something goes wrong, but right now things are pretty decent. So my plans for these foreseeable millennia are more chill than you think. But if you need an answer, maybe we should build a space hospital. Like a hospital, but it's in space. I've got a game for that. And when people get hurt, space is kind of far otherwise. People still get hurt, right? Oh, looks like that's the end of our time. Now, if you'll excuse me, I really must be getting back to my many, many duties. So many duties. Don't mind me, I'm just going to stare blankly until you leave. Or as humans like to call it, work. Okay. I don't know what I was expecting. That was kind of cool. What was the great Zeal Prime like? I don't think we can talk to her anymore. Do they smell extremely good? Okay, you're just weird. That's weird. Please don't ever talk to me again. All right. Zeal Prime says nothing of interest. Okay, that's gonna be boring blob. First, Zeal Prime tells all. No, we'll have... Yeah, tells all. There we go. Zeal Prime is huge and blobby. No. Zeal Prime has been dabbling in poetry with mixed results. As the oldest Zeal in Dorp, the leader of Central Station, Zeal Prime has knowledge of both the meaning of life and all lives, or so they claim. Yeah, we'll do that one. Yeah, I think we're doing sensationalization anyway. Zeal Prime is secluded in a secondary chamber and sees visitors only on appointment. Yeah. Visitors to Zeal Prime are allowed to ask only 3 questions. Prime's handler would not elaborate as to why. Isn't 3 a prime number? Zeal Prime announced an intention to build a space hospital as in a hospital, but in space. According to Zeal Prime, Dorp is doing fine and there's currently little to be concerned about. I think the hospital. Yeah, I think the hospital. No one has anything interesting to say. Meeting them is a chance of a lifetime, said superfan Haiti Gibbous, and I'll wait a lifetime. I'll do one on the regular, said Zeal Prime. On their poetry practice keeps the system motivated and inspired. I know pretty much everything there is to know around here, said Zeal Prime, after demonstrating at least a knowledge of their visitor list. Oh no, it's alien interest, not sensationalist, because that's sensationalism. I was gonna do this one. Visitors take tickets to reserve an appointment with Zeal Prime. The waiting room is sparsely decorated area without much interest to look at. The soul of the visitor in the waiting room was a superfan from humanity who had traveled for over 174 cycles, hoping to gain an audience with Zeal Prime. Zeal Prime's superfan was dressed in a crudely constructed Zeal Prime costume. Yeah, we could just do this one as I don't know what else. I didn't care for really any of them. Okay, we'll do that. Have you spoken with Zeal Prime? If not, go into the next room and do so before you leave. It'd be a shame to come back without an interview. Are you ready to proceed to the next cycle? Yes. So we have the first Zeal of Dorp system tells all. The oldest Zeal in Dorp and leader of Central. So this is really just an informational. It's not like I could go back and ask him more questions. Okay, let's go ahead and submit the story. Oh, and that one did get an unlock all story elements from. Wow, you really dug deep into that story. I was trying to go for the information. Like just a biographical piece. We're gonna go into cycle 16. We're gonna do that in the next episode. So thank you for watching. Have an utterly fantastic day and see you next time.